Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Casa Madrigal, aka the house from the movie Encanto. This is the amount of space required to make your build. Feel free to make this grid in your world if you do feel as though it will help you out. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Step 1. If you have made the grid, come all the way over to the front left hand corner of it and count right from the corner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then inwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the starting position. Begin by placing a brick on the ground, and then 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend forwards by 2, 1, 2. Right by 3, 1, 2, 3. We then want to place a cyan concrete, leave a gap, or better yet, destroy a block in the ground, replace it with bricks, and then on the other side of the gap, place cyan concrete. You can raise these cyan concretes up by 2 if you like whilst we have them, but we then want to continue extending right of this cyan concrete just down here at the bottom. We want to extend right by 4 using the bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend back by 2, 1, 2, and then extend to the right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just like that. Next, we are going to extend that 9th block back by 1, right by 2, 1, 2. Grab the yellow terracotta and place 4 yellow terracotta on top of the end brick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend in 1, up by 3, 1, 2, 3, and let's just leave it at that. Now let's continue extending the bricks backwards, which we are going to do by 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're now going to extend this brick inwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab your lime terracotta and extend the brick outwards by 2. 1, 2, extending towards the back. Then extend to the right by 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then extend forwards with bricks by 3. 1, 2, 3. So the end result should look like this. And whilst we are here, we are going to take the corner of lime terracotta and extend upwards by 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And we can extend to the right and also forwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can also extend forwards by 6 as well, actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can just extend across and then extend backwards. So we just end up with what will later be kind of a tower shape. So in doing this, we can now come all the way back down to the bricks at the bottom of the build here. And we want to extend across the back of the build by 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Just like this. We then want to take out the birch planks and extend upwards by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We then want to extend left by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We then want to extend in 1 using a pink concrete, and then up by 2, 1, 2. We also want to extend down 1 as well, and these pink concretes want to extend to the left, and the idea is that they would connect to the lime terracotta that we placed earlier. So if we were to extend some of the lime terracotta down, then you can see that the pink concrete would in fact connect to it, although that is something that we can work on later, but I just wanted to show you that these things all do connect together. And speaking of connecting together, I also want to raise up this corner block of bricks here, and I want to extend it upwards by 8 using birch planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And extend all the way over to the right, and extend the birch planks that connect to the pink concrete down. So the shape that we have is this. So it's getting a little bit complicated, but I think that we're actually making it rather easy by separating this all into simple shapes. And now that we've done that, we are going to come over to this side, and we are going to join the base of the build together. So to start with, we are going to extend the bricks forwards at the base of the build here. We want to extend forwards by 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We then want to extend inwards by 2. 1, 2. And then we simply just want to connect all the way back to where we started. But that isn't quite all, because we want to take the birch planks that we have up at the top of the build here, and we want to extend this corner forwards by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then across by 9 also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we can extend back, and we can make a solid shape like this. We can even extend the corner down here as well, because this will inevitably be its very own shape. And in addition to this, we want to make a chimney, so where the birch connects to the bricks, we just want to move backwards a row, and we just want to have 2 rows of birch planks that extend up out of the ground next to this, and it's going to extend all the way up, and it will eventually be a chimney, but we're just marking that out for now. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually made some good headway with the build. So the first thing that we are going to do now is we are going to build up the front of the house, as we have effectively marked out everywhere else except the front. So come all the way over to the front left hand side of the build. We're looking for this block in particular here. I think this was the first one that we ever placed. Well, on top of this, place 3 birch planks. 1, 2, 3. Followed by 5 yellow terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Extend the 5th yellow terracotta to the right by 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We then want to extend it down. So we want to extend it down equal, or better yet, we can extend the bottom block across here and then extend this upwards. And then we want to take this entire row of yellow terracotta and extend it backwards, just an entire row. We then want to take the top and the bottom and extend to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to take the 2 end blocks and just connect them together. So we will end up with a shape that should look very much like this. So we also want to have birch planks below here as well. So on the opposite side of the entrance area, we also want to have birch planks which will extend up and connect. So basically just on top of this row of bricks, we can place 3 rows of birch just like this. Although it is a little bit more complicated than that, as on the end of the row of birch here, we want to place a pink concrete, extend that forwards a row, extend it up by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then place 3 light blue concrete on top, 1, 2, 3, extend left by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want to copy what we have, so extend down by 2, and then extend down using the pink concrete until it is level with the opposite side, extend this backwards, And we kind of just want to extend backwards the rows of pink, and those will kind of just flow into the house. So we want to connect the bottom 2 rows of pink together, just like this. Then we're going to add a row of pink behind the second row. We then want to place a row of birch planks on the left and right. They want to be 3 rows high, and they want to connect together at the top, leaving enough space for a little doorway. Then, above this, or actually, as a matter of fact, we then want to just place pink concrete in front of the top of the door. And then we want to add light blue concrete to the top here as well. So just underneath the top of the... This looks like a medieval helmet or something. I don't even know what I'm looking at. So we then want to place light blue concrete just underneath the top. And this is the sort of shape that we should end up with. So in addition to this, we also want to have a couple of windows just down at the bottom here. So if we start from the bottom right-hand corner birch plank here, we want to move left by 1, 2, destroy this block, the one above it, leave a gap of 1, 1, 2, perfect. So that is the sort of window arrangement that we want to have. And speaking of window arrangements, I want to come all the way over to the left side here where we have the yellow terracotta. And I want to add a yellow terracotta in the corner of this empty space, extend right, and then down. This will leave us an empty gap. We then want to leave a gap of 3 going right, 1, 2, 3, and then we want to add a vertical row of yellow terracotta. Now on the right side, which is what I have the measurement for, I don't have it from the left, on the right side here, we want to have 1, 2, 3 rows of vertical yellow terracotta. We then want to leave a gap and then fill the remaining area in like this. Then we want to reduce this space, so we're actually going to reduce the space by 1, 2 at the top, and this is what we should have. As a matter of fact, I mean, that might even have to be a little bit higher, and that should be okay. Perfect. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. So this is what we want to have so far. Now, not only do we want to have this, but just on the left side here where we have the birch plank area, and I realize this is lots of little tricky bits of like counting and stuff, guys, but hopefully you're keeping up. So on the left side here, we want to take the bottom of the birch plank row here, extend right by 1, 2, and then connect up, and then back on itself, so we kind of want to have a little square. We then, to the right of this, we want to have a 2 by 2 empty space, so from the top, 1, 2, 3, and then extend down, and this will just all be windows. Or maybe we won't, we'll have a little single window here actually, and then on the right side here, there's actually a hanging lantern, so we will have just a double high window. Extend the birch planks forwards, and then across, just like this. So all the way across to the right of the door. Then we're going to extend these birch planks forwards here, and there is a little window just right in the middle, so we're going to take the top, we're going to connect left, we're going to take the bottom, we'll connect left, and then we just want to have 2 birch planks just here, extending towards the window. And that is looking pretty good so far, ladies and gentlemen. We just have loads of little details here and there to add, but we should work on the entrance, actually. So the actual entrance where the door is going to be. And I'm just going to momentarily get rid of the birch planks and the bricks, and I'm going to grab warp doors and black stained glass, because there is going to be an actual door here, and then black stained glass just up above. And then left and right of this. So left and right of this, we want to build up acacia planks. So we want 2 of them on either side, just next to the door. We're then going to place acacia stairs facing outwards, and then upside down ones facing inwards. Acacia slabs on top, join together in the top, extend the middle up. We then want to place upside down acacia stairs, just extending outwards from the acacia planks. And then we want to place acacia planks underneath the upside down stairs. And this kind of just sets the scene for the entranceway. So now that we've done that, I actually want to add little bits of detail on the windows and stuff, just so that it kind of like brings things together a little bit. So It would also be a good idea actually to add some of the roof. So that's going to be made using spruce stairs, spruce slabs. We'll grab some lanterns whilst we're at it. Acacia fence, birch fence. We need the acacia trapdoors, and something that I did forget because it's such a minor material is we do need the birch slabs as well, but literally only 3 of them. So, okay. Where we have the actual, like, window holes on the... And we'll start from the bottom and we'll go across and then, like, go up to the top and go across. So, on the left side here, we need we need actual, like... We need blocks to place the trapdoors on. So we're going to place black stained glass, and then we're going to place acacia trapdoors on the black stained glass, and then remove the glass. It's just a little bit easier, I find, to place the trapdoors onto something. So instead of actually having glass for the windows, this is what we're going to have instead, and it just works quite nicely. So there we go. And then moving across, we want to have this as well. But not every single empty space just wants to have trapdoors on it. Some empty spaces are a bit different, but for the lower level, it's pretty much entirely trapdoors. And then if we move up to the left-hand side on the upper level, we're going to, once again, we'll fill this little 2x1 spacing with trapdoors. This is kind of like a balcony / open window, so we're just going to place acacia fence across the bottom. This window right here, we're going to place a glass and then a trapdoor. On the right side here, where we have this kind of longer space, this taller space, we're going to just have acacia fence. Here, we want to actually have the middle be a window, so we're going to place the trapdoors. Birch slabs in front, and then we want to have birch fence in front of that. And then above this empty gap here, we're going to simply place birch fence. And this is pretty much it for all of the windows on the front of the build. So now that we have done that, I do want to start adding in a little bit of a roof section. So the roof, let's start again. We'll start on the left and then we'll go across again. So on the left here, we simply just want to have spruce stairs just above the window line, just like this. Nice and simple. And we also want to have, so we really should extend the birch up here, just above where we have the door, because it'll make it easier to place this. Then we want to have spruce stairs just around the top of the entrance, and we might even have to have it stick out a little bit. So on the sides, we want to the spruce stairs wants to hug the actual birch planks, but the actual spruce stairs, like on the front, wants to overhang the door by one. So we can then add some spruce slabs. And also the top. For many cases, the roof is going to be 1 layer of stairs, maybe 2, depending upon where we place it, with then a layer of... And this does want to taper as well, by the way, so we'll just place it an extra row in front. And you can see that that overhangs nicely. Here as well, so let me just fill this little area in with yellow terracotta. Here as well, we also want to have stairs. So the stairs sit on the side of the birch, but they do want to extend out a row in relation to the pink concrete. So like this, and then we can place some spruce slabs underneath. And if we come under this, of course, then we get kind of like a nice little depth arrangement. And then here we just want to place, do we want a set of stairs for this, or do we just want to continue the slabs? Yeah, we'll just continue the slabs for just this part, and that's looking pretty good if you ask me. The upper part here, so where we let's actually grab the materials. So the upper part here where we have the light blue concrete, this has a little square roof. The width of this is 5 rows, so we want to extend backwards 1, 2, 3, 4, across, and then forwards. And then we're able to simply just place spruce stairs around the edge of the light blue concrete like this. So think of it as kind of like a tower, which we have a few of actually with this build. And then I chose to kind of just place a few rows of spruce slabs in and above this. Probably just 2 layers of slabs will do, unless you really do want to make it into like a spire But that looks pretty good, and where necessary, we will fill blocks in later, like we'll extend the relevant blocks backwards, because like it's not always necessary to extend like all of the light blue backwards, and it's not always necessary to like extend all of the pink backwards, unless you do plan to use the entire inside the build. But then that's a completely different story, because then you may want to have some walls open. But as long as from the outside everything works together, you can see the yellow terracotta here, for instance. Like if we take that, so the yellow terracotta, and we extend this backwards, then you see that that negates the need to extend. And by the way, that is what we have to do with the yellow terracotta. I should point that out, really. Like, this just wants to extend it backwards along the actual bricks that we have already. That's for the lower part, and then for the upper part, like, we just want to extend these 3 rows backwards as well. And we kind of just want to mirror what we have on the front. But you can see that in doing this, that negates the need to have the pink here, which would give us more interior space if we did so need it. So, you know, you don't have to be so quick to fill absolutely everything in. So, in doing that, I think that we should just continue kind of like working around the build, but it's worth mentioning that we have to add a little bit of roof to this section as well. So, the first section of roof, which is made using spruce stairs, it sits like this. So like where the yellow terracotta extends inwards, this is where the roof sits, and the spruce stairs wants to overhang or hang off of the build like this. So it'll just go all the way around, and this will inevitably connect to the lime terracotta that we will have, which means the top of this, we're going to just fill the top of this in using spruce, and then above and outside of the yellow terracotta, we are going to have the spruce stairs. So it would be easier if this had something to grip onto, but what can you do? And then this will inevitably connect to the lime terracotta. And we can now fill in these rows of yellow terracotta just at the back here. And that'll be lime. So actually, this end row of yellow terracotta will also be lime. Let's take a look at it from the outside. Yeah, we'll just extend this up, and then that should work out rather nicely. And now that we've done that, like continuing sort of like working around, this might be one of the rare occasions where it is actually worth extending all of the lime terracotta up and down. So I think it'll actually make things a lot easier if we do exactly that. So we'll literally just connect all of the lime terracotta where possible. So that would be, what, about here? So we'll take all of the lime terracotta. That might actually be a row short. I think it is. That's fine. We'll take all of the lime terracotta and we'll extend it down into the actual house itself. And then where need be, we can shave off rows. So I haven't designed like a full interior for this build. Like, it's almost impossible. Like this, it's incredibly difficult to get like an entire full view of the build. And as much as I possibly tried, like, even so, cartoon and movie houses are not designed in such a way that, like the inside of the house, it's almost like a TARDIS. Like, it is so big in there that the inside doesn't match the outside, if that makes sense. So I've made this at such a scale that like a full interior isn't possible, but I have made kind of like the courtyard and the kind of like rails and the entrances to people's individual rooms, which is pretty cool. And then if you like, you can fill in the rest, but I thought that that was very important to get right. And like I said, unless I made this house literally like completely out of scale, like it wouldn't fit into my city where this is ultimately going, or more likely your city as well, like it'd kind of like, it'd be like a really strange scale if we wanted to actually make the full interior. But that's unfortunately just something that we do have to deal with movie houses, and more so even specifically like animated houses. They're not designed, you know what? They're really not thinking about us when they design these houses. They don't really make it possible to get every little bit of detail. But regardless, I think that I've done a pretty good job anyway. So we now have a giant lime terracotta tower, which is cool because it's kind of like a nice centerpiece to the build. And I want to join a couple of things to the tower as well. So like this pink concrete, for instance, that we have here. So we want to take the top corner of this and we want to extend this forwards. And we want to join it down to the birch planks, but it wants to stop one row short of the birch planks that are in front of it. And then we can join the pink concrete to the tower. And we can add a couple of rows of pink concrete underneath, just like this. And we also want to have, we might even have to drop this an additional row actually. So we're going to drop the pink concrete an additional row, I think. And we might even have to drop the birch, but regardless, we'll just leave it at this now because I just wanted to kind of like connect things together. It might actually be quite helpful to add a roof line to this as well, as a matter of fact, because I don't want to make it wrong and then have to reverse some things. So the very top of the roof actually begins, and this would be easier if we had planks. They're not necessary, but it's just easier. The top of the roof begins here. So it's literally like the top of the roof is on top of the yellow terracotta that we have at the front. So if we extend some spruce planks backwards here, then this just gives us a better idea of what we're working with. Because there is also kind of like a hole in the middle of the roof as well. So knowing that this is where the spruce plank line is here, and I would recommend you do this yourself. Just place some spruce planks on the front where we have the yellow terracotta, extend backwards into this tower, extend the spruce planks left so that it is level with the corner, and then we want to extend forwards by 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then left by 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we want to extend back. And this will connect. So we do have to drop the birch planks. So let's do this. So we have to drop the birch planks one row lower, like this. Okay. And then that's perfect. So let's do another row so they're actually physically touching something. So there we go. Perfect. So what we can then do from here is we can place birch planks just underneath and in front of the pink concrete. And this is what I'm talking about. So this space that you can see right here is actually going to allow us to make the courtyard. So this is like the outline for the courtyard. And if we just add in, like if we just fill in some of the spruce around this, it will make even more apparent that it's like a big kind of like square hole in the middle of the roof. So as long as you place spruce planks on top of the actual like yellow terracotta area and you don't place it anywhere else, so like we can add a couple of rows here, so like as long as the spruce planks don't overhang anything, then that's perfectly fine because this has to be filled in anyway. So we'll just add some spruce planks here, and there we go. So that is so much better. So that gives us a good gauge on like where things go, because now I can tell you, for instance, that now that we have done this part, that we have 2 windows, or actually, hang on. So where we have this birch plank area, we leave a gap of 2 on the right, and then we destroy a row of 2. Actually, place 2 acacia trapdoors next to each other, leave a gap of 2, place 2 acacia trapdoors next to each other, and then destroy what's behind, flip these up, and then we have 2 windows. Then, with the pink concrete, we want to leave a gap, so starting from the bottom left pink concrete, 1, 2, 3, move up, trapdoor, destroy the blocks behind, flip these up. Perfect. Nice. So, what we can then do from here is place spruce stairs around the top of the pink concrete, and then this will connect to the back of our tower. And then what we're going to do, we're going to add another row of stairs. I don't think so. I think that we're going to stick with these slabs. So we'll fill the top of this in using slabs. And then we will do some work on the birch part that is connected together. And I'm sorry that this is a little bit erratic, ladies and gentlemen, but I mean, this build kind of is, right? I mean, the house itself is a little bit erratic. It's a little bit crazy, so Now that we've done that, around the top of the birch area, we are going to add the spruce stairs, and then on top of that, we will fill in using spruce slabs. So extend this around here. We'll fill... Actually, yeah, that should be fine. So it should be fine to... It will be fine. Because we can always just reverse it if we need to a little bit. To fill this back wall in using pink concrete. Like this. Perfect. Oh, hang on. There we go. And then we'll fill the top of the birch plank area in using spruce slabs. And we are slowly but surely actually piecing this build together, which is quite cool. So instead of like... I didn't expect us to build it in this particular fashion, but you know, things end up the way that they end up. So we still have some lower housework to do, but I guess if all of the upper part is done, then that's just less to get to in the end, I suppose. So there we go. So now, that looks pretty good, right? That looks pretty good, and we'll leave that at that. Like, we'll work on the rest of the roof and that a little bit later. I want to work on the actual lime terracotta part here, which is what we set out to do in the first place. So this actually requires a few different materials. We need the iron bars. We need vines, which is another material that I actually forgot, because there's a bunch of like just materials that we don't need very much of, and they're very specific to different parts of the house. So on the front of the tower, there's kind of like an indent. So leave a gap of 1 from the bottom, destroy the 3 middle blocks, and make it 4 rows high, and then fill in behind this using your lime terracotta. So just like this. We're going to add some vines around this, and these can drape all the way down to the actual roof of the house. Above where the slabs are here, we want to have spruce stairs placed in this fashion on every single one of the 4 corners of the tower. So it's kind of like, I'm not sure what the purpose of this, it's kind of cool. It's like a nice decorative little bit of roofing that is just half a row above the roof level on the left here. There's kind of like a mustache. This reminds me of a face, and this is kind of like a mustache. It's iron bars above where we have the hole here, and then we extend the middle one up. And then if we leave a gap of 1 above the iron bars, and then a gap of 1 again moving left, destroy, and the same thing on the right, then we kind of have like eyes, a nose, a mouth, or mustache or something. It kind of looks funny. And then around the top of this, we are going to add another row of lime terracotta, only so that we are able to easier add a row of spruce stairs. And then we will start to taper spruce slabs inside of this. So we'll have the spruce stairs, and then spruce slabs slowly but surely extending upwards and inwards, and until we're happy with the amount. So half a row up each time, we'll just keep adding these. And at a certain point, maybe the next layer I might do, that might be as high as we need to go. So I think that this is going to be the highest. The middle block actually has to have a stone wall on it, so that doesn't work out, so that's fine. So a stone wall, maybe 2, just to make it a bit more visible. It kind of looks like a robot but from the floor it doesn't. I don't know, I think 2 might be too much. Hang on. One will do. One will do. So that's looking pretty good, right? Yeah, that's looking pretty nice. So now that we've done that, and we will, the roof will probably be the last thing that we do now. Let's just move around here. He says that, but then on the back here, we have to fill this in using birch plank. So we have to turn this into a solid shape, and then a roof will go around here. We've definitely got to fill in the left side of the build. So we're just filling all of this in with birch planks, ladies and gentlemen. So on the proper actual left side of the build, we've got a little bit of detail to do. There is a balcony. We've got the chimney to do that we already made a little bit of. We've got the roof to fill in, but I actually can't believe it. We've made a really good amount of this house. So let's get this filled in. there's not really too much detail, or at least I'm unaware if there is too much detail on the back, because as much as I looked, I couldn't really find too many, like, actually none. I could find no images of the back of this house. So whether I didn't look well enough, I don't know. I sat and combed through the movie, but I couldn't find it. So if you do know of a detail that I missed, please do add it. But that is what the back of the house looks like so far. That'll be a little bit more detailed with roofing. But now for this part, this has a load more detail that we have yet to add. So the first thing that we will do is extend the birch planks backwards, and then across, and then back again, and this will kind of form the lower part of the build. This isn't as detailed as the upper part. So the upper part, we're going to extend the the yellow terracotta backwards, so like this, onto the birch, and then we're going to fill the rest of this sort of like siding using birch planks. So let's extend this up all the way up to the top of the yellow terracotta, and we might have to remove some of this actually, but we'll just see. So we'll just extend that up, and then we will extend. So let's take the spruce planks that we have up above, we'll extend these across so that they sit on top of the birch, but I think that they're going to have to overhang even more. But let's add the little balcony in here. So the spruce stairs here, we're going to extend these back and join to the part of the build that we've just made. Now above this, we need pink concrete, and we are going to have 2 rows of pink concrete that kind of just extend all the way around the side here, and they are going to stop 2 rows short of this chimney. So we might even make it 1 row short. We'll start 1 row short of the chimney. So here we just want to have 2 rows of pink concrete. There is a little window here on the front. So this is made using 2 acacia trapdoors stacked on top of each other. We'll destroy these, place the acacia. Then above this, we want to have spruce stairs. So do we want to? Yeah, so the spruce stairs are going to extend out by 2 rows, and the spruce stairs is, it might even be easier to do this first. If we grab acacia fence and place acacia fence around the edge of the pink concrete, and then we want to have spruce, not like that, then we want to have spruce stairs above and outside of the, or above, literally just above where we have the acacia fence, and then fill the top of this in using spruce slabs. That looks pretty good if you ask me. There we go. I told you, a little bit more detail on this part in particular. We should add the roof as well, because it helps to kind of like fill some of this in. So the roof here wants to literally stem from, does it actually want to start a little bit lower? I think that there's actually a couple of levels of roof. So yeah, that's the top of the roof. So the first part of the roof, am I correct? Yeah, I am. So the first part of the roof wants to start from the top of the pink concrete here. We're going to have spruce stairs, and they're going to extend all the way left over here. And the roof is going to overhang the little mini balcony roof by 1. And then we will extend this back. Hang on, back. This is so tricky. So back, 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 back. And then we want it to kind of like fold into the house a little bit. Or do we want... Yeah, we'll have it fold into the house, and then it will start to extend around. Just like this. And it will just connect to the back, and then... There we go, so that's perfect. And then this little part here we can just fill in using spruce slabs. And then this part here. So this part's a bit tricky because I think we might add another row of spruce stairs to this. And then this brings us up to the spruce level. So all we have to do, unless this wants to overhang an additional row. No, it doesn't. So we're going to shave off these spruce planks here. My bad. These probably should have always been stairs. So we'll shave off that layer of spruce planks. We'll replace these with stairs across. So we've got 2 layers of stairs. And then the top of this is simply going to be planks. So that is how the roof functions like that. And that is that particular side of the house done, actually. There's not really anything left to add. On this side of the build, however, we are going to add another layer of spruce stairs above and inside of the spruce stairs. So, like this, here, and then we'll just fill the top of this in using spruce planks, and then that'll be the roof done, actually. So, really shouldn't make too much of a big deal out of it because it is all connected together rather nicely. So there we go. Nice. There we are. So that's actually all of the roof section fully complete at this point, ladies and gentlemen. I reckon that now all we've got to do is just add some minor This looks so cool. We've just got to add some minor details to the actual house itself around the outside. Then we can just work on the little bit of the courtyard inside. So I want you to come all the way over to the chimney section over here. So for this chimney section, we are going to dig out these bottom 2 birch planks and place bricks in front. Then we will place birch planks on the inside of these 2 sticky out blocks, so on the inside of the bricks and then backwards. We're then going to place 3 rows of birch on top of this, so we have a nice 3D chimney, flower pots on top of everything that we've made, and then iron bars stemming from the back right hand top corner of the birch planks, and then we want to just kind of like extend the iron bars kind of like in a few different directions, probably just like front and back like this. You could even make this lower one here. No, I actually kind of like it like that. I think that looks good like that. So then we want to take the top front right hand corner of the chimney, drop down one, white wall in front, and extend the white wall to the right by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we want to this is a cloud shape, so we want to leave 2 gaps on the left and right, and we want to have white wool extending up from the central blocks until we eventually taper up into a cloud shape like this. And the cloud is going to be a couple of rows thick, so maybe just literally a couple. We'll just leave it like 2 like this. And it's just a nice little bit of detail. If you did want to, you could add a rainbow as well, which is something that I'm heavily contemplating, by the way. I might do it using some glass a little bit later on, and you guys can decide whether you like that or not. So a detail that I actually missed, because I forgot to grab these things. Like, it might not be in this position specifically, but I think it's kind of cool to include this, is to have a candle in this single window that is lit, and having this trapdoor kind of like flip down. I think that that's a nice little detail, which if you've watched the film, the next thing that we are going to do now that we have done this is there is just a bunch of random stuff to add. So when I say that, it's not necessarily random, but we will need the bricks, which we have. I'll just gather it over the side of the inventory. We need bricks. We need a bunch of flowering azalea leaves. We need like regular azalea leaves, azaleas, flower parts, drip leaf, bone meal. We also need the spruce stairs, and we also need lanterns, and we'll see beyond this. So let's concern ourselves with the entrance. For the entrance, we have a flower pot here on this upside down stair with an azalea in it. We have a bit of a winding path. So this winding path is 3 rows thick. It's made using 3 rows thickish. It's made using bricks. And we kind of have to place like rows of 2 extending outwards from the actual entrance. And we kind of just want to create like a, when I say a winding path, it's kind of difficult to describe, but if you kind of just take a look at what I've just made there, I mean, that's not too bad at all. So just something like that, just kind of like a little bit of a path using bricks that's kind of just a little bit diagonal. It's not just like a straight path. We have to add a few lanterns to the front of the house. So these are actually in the movie, so as in like hanging lights. We'll need some spruce lamps for this because we want to hang them in between these windows. So here, here, and here. We also want to hang a lantern here and here. And we are also going to hang some lanterns on the side here just to illuminate this a little bit. So we'll place a couple of slabs and we'll just have hanging lanterns just to kind of like brighten this. It just adds a little bit of a point of intrigue. So in adding all of this, we have to add a bench as well. So there's a little spruce bench. It's basically just in this little gap of the house here, and it's two back-to-back spruce wood stairs just kind of like chucked together. Randomly, I would just place some drip leaves kind of like about the place. There's lots of grass and growth and vegetation around the house, and it doesn't really strictly adhere to rules. So what I mean by that is, like, you can quite haphazardly, might be the word, place like bone meal around the house. There's plenty of growth and vegetation, and around this, surrounding this, would be bunches of trees and flowers and bushes and just loads and loads of it just really adds to the atmosphere. So there's like some leaves around here, for instance, and then there's some just regular azalea leaves just here. We'll bone meal around here as well. But now, specifically, so we can, and of course we can add more and more, and I might even add like a big giant foresty sort of area around this, but there are also specific leaves on the house. So there's like big hanging vine looking like flowers and leaves. Anyway, so this is made using flowering azalea leaves, and it's almost impossible to kind of like direct you with this, or like to tell you block for block, but there's just a big bloom of azaleas, and it's not specifically azaleas, by the way, but that's what we're using. Like, and we have to dig out some of the roof for this, but there's like some just kind of like hanging here, just above the door, as you can see, like this. There's also some like on the tower. Like, a lot of the tower is actually engulfed by this, so it actually covers up the majority of the tower, to be quite honest. And even some of the roof here, like we should destroy some of this and add some azaleas to it, and even the top. So like, and it kind of like hangs down a little bit. So, and it's also like it's a bit random as well. So that's kind of why it's difficult to kind of like advise too much. Like, I mean, it's sort of like that shape. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's tricky to describe it, but it does like take up a good amount of the tower, and it looks really, really cool. Maybe a bit more bone meal around here. There really is like a lot of growth. I don't want to like cover up the house too much, because you know, the aesthetic of the house is really nice. It'd be a shame to completely like cover everything up. But also, by the way, there is a like a big sort of, I don't want to call it a palm tree, but that's sort of what it looks like. So we need the oak fence, brown sugar box, and azalea. It's not really like azalea coloured, it's kind of like more oaky-ish. So sort of like in the front right hand corner of the house-ish, maybe just in line with where we have the azalea there, the potted azalea. We just want to, and it's really tall, but it does look very palm tree-ish anyway. I don't know what it is, but it rises up above where we have, like, let's make it about as high, if not one row higher than the flowering azaleas. Brown shulker box, and then this is going to be tricky, but we want to place on top of this. How do we do this? So we just need a block to actually like place stuff on. So there we go. So above this, we kind of want to have, like, it kind of just sticks out in every direction like this, using the leaves. And there we go. Maybe even like a little bit more. So maybe even like this. Maybe it's a little bit crazy. But that tree in particular really did just kind of like stick out to me, and I think it just kind of puts like a nice finish. The only thing is, it kind of almost feels as though that imbalances that side of the build. It almost feels as though that there should be something more on this side. So if you do kind of want to grow out the vegetation a little bit more, maybe add some more leaves to this side, then that might balance things out a little bit. But regardless, that's what we're working with. So that is actually the outside of the house complete, ladies and gentlemen, and now we are able to head inside the build. And I do just want to sort of quickly make a courtyard area, and kind of like, well, literally just a courtyard area, because I think it puts a nice finish on the build, so you're not just like, you walk into this big empty house. So this might look a little bit daunting, but this is actually going to be really, really easy because of what we did earlier. We have actually made the frame for the courtyard. Grab cyan concrete and come to each one of the 4 corners. And by the way, we will have to destroy this corner of lime terracotta and then even more of it. But come to each one of the 4 corners of where the spruce planks end up above us, the empty space up above us, and place 1, 2, 3, 4 cyan terracotta extending downwards. Like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's pretty good, right? So what we can then do from there is we can place upside down spruce stairs and we can join all of these together. So the upside down spruce stairs wants to be placed, and you might even want to place a plank in the middle. So like underneath, like, yeah, that might be a bit better. A plank underneath the cyan, and then facing inwards we want to have these stairs. So just on each one of the 4 corners. Just like this. And this is going to be kind of like the upper level of the courtyard. So stemming from this, obviously, we would have all of the individual rooms. So yeah, that's not looking too bad at all. Now, we also want to have some more cyan concrete. So on the front and the back, we leave a gap of 2, and then we place more cyan concrete, so extending inwards. So on the front and the back, we leave a gap of 2, and then we have 2 rows of cyan concrete. On the sides, it's a little bit different because we can actually space them 2 rows evenly apart. So we can have... There we go. So it's a little bit different on the sides. We want to have warped fence connecting all of these together. The only instance where we don't want this is at the back middle part here, as we will use spruce slabs to taper a stairway down from this. So literally just in front of this, we will, it might be better just to turn these into slabs. So in front of, and we could even have them so it's like this just to make it a little bit easier. So there we go. So we will taper, give it a second. Is this too much? We might actually use just stairs because otherwise I think that's going to take us to the entrance. My bad. So we will have stairs. Yeah, and there we go. That's better. And then we'll have upside down stairs behind. So we will have just good old regular spruce stairs. Forget what I said about it. So good old regular spruce stairs just extending down. Now, I know in the movie the stairs are a little bit sideways, and but I've chosen to put the stairs here because I think that it looks a little bit more showy to have them at the back, but they should actually like come from the side and come. Anyway, so this is where these stairs are. And we now want to connect, so underneath where we have the pillars, we want to have 1, 2, 3 birch and then bricks underneath. So where we have the pillars of cyan terracotta, or cyan concrete as it is, we want to have 3 birch and then join down using a brick. So that is absolutely every single place except on the front and the back. We won't do it on the front and the back. So 1, 2, 3, birch, and then 1, 2, 3, birch, 1, 2, 3, brick. It's not birch, I keep saying birch. 1, 2, 3 birch, 1 brick. There we go. And oh, also here as well, 1, 2, 3 birch, 1 brick. And then we can connect all of this together at the top using birch planks, even behind the stairs here, like this, here, 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 and even on the front. So yeah, this is looking pretty good so far. You can see how this is shaping up nicely. Well, on the front and the back, the reason that we didn't want to do it on the front and the back is because it's just like a big archway. So on the front and the back, we just want to extend in a couple of rows of bricks with birch planks on top. Then we want to leave a gap of, we've got like a gap of 5, but then we want to make the top of this, like we just want to bring a, so like 1, 2, and then birch planks, and then 1, 2, and then birch planks. And then we want to make just the top 2 corners of birch planks, so like here and here. So you can see it's kind of like more of an archway more than anything. And then for the rest of it, so like for the outside of this, we have to add spruce planks around the top of the spruce stairs. So we want to actually have a layer of 2 spruce planks all the way around the edge of the top. And then we are going to have the rooms, or at least like where the rooms would be. Again, this is more of a showpiece. This can be turned into more so into the actual house itself, but like it's much more of a showpiece. So this has to be destroyed. This corner here, so just like this, perfect. And then around the corner we'll have the spruce, and then we will use bricks around this because this is where we are going to connect the rooms up and down. So here, just around the edge, and then forwards like this, and then you'll notice that everything kind of connects together rather nicely this way, and we have the spruce planks. So perfect. So from here, that's looking pretty good. So that allows us to then also like figure out the downstairs. So the downstairs is a little bit different. Like it's the downstairs you actually do get a not too bad look at, but I would recommend kind of just like, again, if you want to have certain rooms in the house, you won't be able to make all of them. There's not enough space. But if you do want to try and recreate certain rooms, so like the kitchen, for instance, which would be over here in this direction, then you could feel free to do that, and that would be cool. So like I would focus on small areas of the house if that is something that you did want to do. If you were like, I really love such and such's bedroom, I really love that, I'd like to recreate that, then you know that you can 100% absolutely feel free to do that. But once again, and like back here for instance, like you could have something cool back here, like there's enough room, maybe even on this side, like you could leave that open. But once again, as this is going to be more so a showpiece of my city, I'm going to simply just drop the birch planks down like this to make walls, and I should actually make the bricks first. It'd be easier to do this. So as this is just a showpiece, I am just like, I'm just kind of like sealing this up. For me, the courtyard is actually quite cool, and to actually have like the doors and stuff, like I think that that's going to be pretty cool, so that's where I'll leave it. But if you do want specific rooms, if you really do like specific rooms or specific parts, then I would make those if I were you. So let's just place these here, because I just don't want the inside of the house to feel empty, if that makes sense. So like for instance, like when we walk in here, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. And once the floor's in, it'll actually make a huge difference as well. Like, it feels pretty cool, right? I might even seal up like this. Although it's quite open, like right next to the entrance, but I might just kind of like seal that area up here and maybe even here. Although it's a little bit tricky because we do have a window. So just here, we can even add a bit of we can add some spruce planks here. We could even drop the roof level a little bit just in this part, so it feels a little bit different. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So like, doesn't it feel just sort of like grand walking in here? I mean, I don't know whether I'm, you know, just making that up, but it just feels sort of cool. Underneath this window level, I'm just going to use spruce instead of birch, so that fits in a little bit better. And then upstairs, of course, we've added the walls downstairs. Upstairs, we have to add them as well. And as I say, I'm also going to add a bunch of doors. So let's just add the walls first. And of course, like a lot of these doors actually are the actual rooms are like marked out. So you might want to add like signs or something. That might be cool. That might be something you want to do. But I think that I'm going to use either lanterns or maybe like glowstone or something, but with just like doors just below. And I think that'll feel quite nice. Maybe not glowstone. Maybe like, what about shroom light or something? That might have a nicer feel, a bit of a warmer feel. But so something like this looks really cool. And then, as I said, like where we have the pillars, it would be a good idea to add. So like, let's use nice doors as well. Let's use dark oak, and let's use shroom. Yeah, see, shroom light's kind of like a nice sort of like magical-ish looking material. So like here, for instance, and then here, like everywhere that we've got the pillars, I think would be cool to add these. Are they on the back, or are they? It's a nice sound as well, placing it, actually. So, are they just on the sides, or are they on the back as well? I actually cannot remember off the top of my head. But maybe we'll just place them on the sides. I cannot remember off the top of my head whether there are doors on the back as well. I think that there are, but I don't want to do it, just in case. Here. So that's looking pretty cool. Maybe we will. Maybe we will add some doors, although I think this might be a mistake. If not, I mean, it does sort of just look better anyway. Like to have, like it'll just make it look a little bit more filled in. We'll also have to add some spruce planks to this part. And then I think that we've just got to add the floor, and then we're pretty good. So, see, plenty of room to add some more detail that you yourself might find a little bit. Yeah, so there we go. That's looking pretty cool. Maybe we want to add some flowers and some stuff about the place. I mean, it wouldn't go amiss if we did add, say, some like leaves and stuff, because there are kind of like, you know, the house is kind of infested is the wrong word. The house is kind of like encumbered by like nature and stuff. So it would make sense that we had some like leaves and vines as well, kind of just like, and maybe even some potted plants and stuff. But it does just make it look kind of cool. So like this, I kind of like that. That's, yeah, nice. There we go, perfect. So all we have to do from here, ladies and gentlemen, is we can add some lights, kind of like stealthily, behind these pillars in the form of lanterns. So maybe even like here and here. And then we actually can't go around this way. We should. Oh, there would be a wall there anyway. So that's fine. So here. Maybe we can even just seal this up. That might work out a little bit better. And then all we've got to do is just add a floor. So I don't think that you guys have to see me add a floor, do you? This we can, of course. Anywhere that you kind of like seeing discrepancies with the materials, feel free to just replace them, if that makes sense. So like here, for instance, I'm considering adding just a row of the material that I threw away, which is the spruce slab, so it looks a little bit more tapered. But yeah, I'm just going to replace this with bricks, and then that'll actually be, ladies and gentlemen, the actual house. And of course, I'm just going to clean up outside, but that is the tutorial, 100% fully complete. I do hope that you have managed to make this. All I literally do have to do is replace that floor with bricks, and then we are good to go. So you may be able to tell, ladies and gentlemen, when the video gets to it, that I have improved the interior a little bit by using some brown glazed terracotta for the centre of the courtyard rather than just regular old bricks. Plus I have added some leaves and I've added some candles on the wall, and I have also added some paintings just to add a little bit more magic to the interior, but that's it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, and click that little bell next to the subscription button. That will ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you do like the look of the world that I have been building in, I don't know how much of it you have managed to see, Stream City is available to download Java Edition only for all of my channel members. If you are a channel member and you're unaware of this, or if you would like to become one for this perk, channel members are provided a brand new fresh download link for Stream City every single time it is updated. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.